Pacific Caucus recommends: 1. That the Permanent Forum actively supports the petition submitted 2 years ago to the UN Secretary General calling on the UN to urgently intervene and engage with the Japanese government in order to A. remove the Tokyo utility company TEPCO or any other corporate entity from leading the Fukushima nuclear disaster response, and B. authorise an international team of independent experts to lead in close collaboration with the Japanese government a more transparent and coherent response to bring the Fukushima situation under control. 2. That the Permanent Forum calls upon all states to urgently transition away from nuclear-powered energy to forms of safe, clean, renewable energy production, beginning with dialogue with citizens about the necessity of decommissioning nuclear power plants, and that can take anywhere up to like 60 plus years to do. 3, that the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change Secretariat put greater energy and effort into promoting and ensuring inclusivity, particularly by Indigenous peoples, into its worldwide public consultation on climate change and energy, which is scheduled for 6 June 2015. Madam Chair, the Fukushima incident is on par with the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, with the 1,500 spent fuel rods holding the radioactive fallout equivalent to over 14,000 Hiroshima bombs. It's already released massive quantities of radioactive pollution into the atmosphere, which has entered the food chain, making local farm products unfit for human consumption due to dangerously high levels of radioactivity. Aside from the obvious, immediate and long-term immeasurable harm to the natural environment and humans, this has the added potential to collapse economies. The level of nuclear contamination in the local seawater continues to be at millions of times the legal limit. This is of deep concern to our Pacific nations, with reports that radiation has extended beyond Alaska to other locations bordering and within our Pacific. We know that unprecedented negative impacts are inevitable for our ocean life and ultimately the health and well-being of our region's Indigenous peoples and our fellow citizens. The Tokyo Utility Company has failed spectacularly in dealing with Fukushima and has misled affected Japanese citizens and the international community by describing the situation as stable. Similarly, the Japanese government is downplaying the severity of the situation, which is out of control, with the slightest earthquake or other disturbance threatening to set off a full-scale meltdown far worse than Chernobyl. Eminent zoologist and environmentalist David Suzuki has been quoted as saying that another earthquake to hit Fukushima could mean bye-bye Japan, and everyone on the west coast of North America should evacuate. Madam Chair, a Japanese parliamentary inquiry has concluded that Fukushima, the meltdown, was a profoundly man-made disaster and could have been prevented. I'll just skip to the end because I can see the light flashing, but basically the question Indigenous peoples have is, and it's really an obvious one, if such nuclear-powered activity is so inherently risky and unaffordable, and if safe, clean energy production is, by today's technological standards, exponentially superior in every way, and if citizens to whom our governments are still theoretically at least meant to be accountable are calling for this transition to safe, clean energy production, then why do governments still resist making this shift? Thank you, Madam Chair.